Hello, dear students. Once again, welcome to my class of literary terms. As I told you earlier also, the best book which can help us in studying literary terms is A Glossary of Literary Terms by M.H. Abrams. Today we are going to study the term that is dramatic monologue. No doubt, dramatic monologue is a lyrical poem, but whenever I study this kind of poem, I always feel that it's very, very interesting. How? Let's have a look at the term that is dramatic monologue. Dramatic term is taken from the word drama. So when does drama happen? Drama happens when there is more than one person, when there is dialogue. But here they are writing monologue. What is mono? Mono is single. So if a single person is speaking, अगर एक से ज़्यादा नहीं है, then it is not a drama. और अगर एक से ज़्यादा है, then it is not a monologue. But here the term is dramatic monologue. That is why I say that it's a very interesting term to understand. Let's begin with how can we call a particular poem a dramatic monologue. In the dramatic monologue, the speaker addresses a silent listener, revealing himself or herself in the context of a dramatic situation. So the things are clear. There are two persons. There is one who is speaking, that means the speaker, and there is another character who is listener, but that person is a silent listener. That is how it becomes dramatic. And when that speaker is speaking, whatever he is speaking, वो कुछ भी बोल रहा है, what is the purpose? The purpose is to reveal. Reveal means सामने खोल कर रख देना, बता देना, explain कर देना. And his or her motive is to reveal himself or herself in the context of a dramatic situation. In other words, we can say that there are two persons. One is the speaker and the other is silent listener. And what kind of situation it is? It is a dramatic situation. So how can we say that it's a dramatic situation? A situation when something is going to happen, कुछ होने वाला है, something crucial is going to happen, or something crucial has happened and now the situation has come out of that particular situation. That is why we call it a dramatic situation. So what does the speaker do? The speaker provides information not only about his or her personality, but also about the time, the setting, key events, and any other characters involved in the situation at hand. What does that mean? That when the speaker is speaking, that means when the poem is happening, the speaker is revealing himself or herself through his or her words. But along with that, he is also referring to the time. The time the things are happening. Also telling us about the setting. What kind of atmosphere is there? And also about the key events. What are the key events? Major incidents which have happened. That means the poem tells us about a particular time, about a particular setting, and about the key events also. And all these things are being told by the speaker. जब स्पीकर बोलता है तो वो सिर्फ अपने बारे में या अपनी पर्सनालिटी के बारे में नहीं बताता, उसके साथ साथ वो उन सब चीज़ों के बारे में बताता है जिससे कि हमें पूरी जानकारी मिले. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, कौन से टाइम पे ये घटना घट रही है, क्या सेटिंग है, और कौन सी मेजर इस वक्त बात हो गई है जिसकी वजह से उसे ये सारा मोनोलॉग जो है वो बोलना पड़ रहा है. We will apply all these things when we come to a particular poem, right? So the listener who is silently listening, he is not supposed to talk, but the reactions, वो बोल नहीं रहा, तो हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि वहाँ पे एक लिसनर है? तो जो स्पीकर है वो बोलते बोलते हमें रिएक्शंस बताता है लिसनर के. तब हमें पता चलता है कि ओके, इसकी बात कोई सुन रहा है और ये एक ड्रामेटिक सिचुएशन है जिसमें वो मोनोलॉग तो बोल रहा है बट एक्चुअली ही इज टॉकिंग टू समबडी, right? So the listener is not supposed to talk about, but his reactions can be judged from the speaker's tone. जो उसकी टोन होती है बोलते बोलते, जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई एम स्पीकिंग, राइट, आई एम स्टैंडिंग इन द क्लास, और मैं किसी स्टूडेंट को कहती हूँ कि लुक एट मी एंड लिसन टू मी प्रॉपरली, राइट, तो इससे सुनने वाले को ये पता लग जाता है दैट मैम इज टॉकिंग टू समबडी. This listener is silent, but listener is there. तो listener की presence हमें कैसे पता चलती है? The listener is not supposed to talk, but his reactions can be judged from the speaker's tone. The best example is Robert Browning's My Last Duchess. The situation is like this. There is a duke. एक duke है, and duchess, you understand, wife of duke. So what happens? The duchess dies. So the situation is dramatic. And a person has come with the proposal of a new duchess. Duke के पास एक person आया है जो रिश्ता लेकर के आया है एक फीमेल का ड्यूक के लिए, राइट? तो अब जो ड्यूक है वो सारा मोनोलॉग बोल रहा है. बोलते बोलते वो अपनी पूरी पर्सनालिटी के बारे में बता रहा है, और टाइटल क्या है? माई लास्ट डचेस. कि अब से पहले वाली जो मेरी डचेस थी वो कैसी थी, उसकी डेथ कैसे हुई, किस तरह से है. बट वो पूरी सिचुएशन बताते बताते वो अपने बारे में सारी इंफॉर्मेशन हमें दे देता है. अनदर ब्यूटिफुल एग्जाम्पल इज T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Do get hold of these books, these poems, and you will come to know that dramatic monologues are real interesting. Let me discuss one of these with you when I am to explain all the features of dramatic monologue. This is one of the beautiful poems. You must study this particular poem, that is The Last Ride Together. It is again written by Robert Browning. Robert Browning is one of those poets who has written so many of dramatic monologues. In fact, he is the one who popularized this term. So let's discuss his The Last Ride Together. In this poem, a single person is speaking. Who is that person? He is the lover. Now, this lover says something, and since it is a single person speech, we call it monologue. Now, why it is dramatic? What has happened? The lover is in love with a beautiful girl, lady, beloved. But the beloved has said, no, I cannot continue with this love affair, and she wants to leave. So, the situation becomes so dramatic, so tense, that he is sad, and then he goes to the beloved and asks her, can you afford the last ride together with me? That means, would you like to go with me for the last ride? Because from tomorrow onwards, or since this very evening, you will be leaving and we won't be meeting again. हम दोबारा नहीं मिल पाएंगे. तो क्या तुम मेरे साथ एक राइड के लिए चलोगी? Right? The beloved says, yes. Okay, I will go. We can be good friends. Let's spend some time together. And then the situation becomes dramatic, and the lover takes his beloved on the last ride, which they are riding together. So that is why the title, The Last Ride Together. The poem begins with this kind of setting. The time is of evening and the lover is speaking. The speaker of the poem is the lover, and the lover is speaking to his beloved. Now, that beloved doesn't say even yes or no, but how does we come to know that she is also sitting along with him? Because with little gestures, he tells us that she's sitting next to him and she's just trying to do this or that. With those gestures, we come to know that there is a female along with him, and that is his beloved. And that is how the poem becomes dramatic monologue, because the situation has become so dramatic that both the lovers, they are going to leave each other, and this is their last ride. And when the speaker speaks, he not only tells us about the time, about the setting, about the main key events, but he also reveals his character, his mind, his personality via whatever he is telling through those lines. That is why I say that Robert Browning's poem, The Last Ride Together, is perhaps the best example of a dramatic monologue. So, in order to sum up, what can we say about dramatic monologue? Dramatic monologue is a poem in which a single character, underline the term single character, character एक ही होता है, overhead speaking to a silent listener. There is another character, but that is a silent listener. What we are listening to, हम किसको सुनते हैं? एक single speaker को. And when that speaker speaks, he reveals a dramatic situation. So these are the main keywords of a dramatic monologue, that is a single speaker, a silent listener, revealing his or her personality over a dramatic situation. That is what a dramatic monologue is. I hope things are clear to you. In order to understand it in a better way, I'll suggest that you must read some of the popular examples of dramatic monologue which have been written by our own Robert Browning. With this, I say you bye, take care, thank you.